Kulu temper. That's what I'll say to all the political parties. At first, there's something that binds all of us in common, which is our roots. We are all Nigerians in the first place. The reason why we are having these arguments back and forth is because we share something in common. We are all Nigerians, and that supersedes anything and any other thing where we are from in the country. It's immaterial to the fact that we're all Nigerians. We'll have varying ideas, but we'll talk about our varied ideas with objectivity and the truth. It's as simple as that. So we want everybody to cool things down, because after all is said and done, after the case goes to court and the court makes a ruling, we'll still have to come together in this country. But that will be after justice has been done as regards the electoral process, which will be done in the courts. Mr. Kayamo that wrote a petition to DSS, I laugh a lot, because Mr. Kayamo pretty much went out there to school the television presenter, and I think it's not fair the way politicians treat journalists. You talk down at them, it's not fair. You pretty much were there schooling the presenter, and the next thing you went ahead to do all the things you complained against. Mr. Kayamo is a son, senior advocate of Nigeria, but on this section 25 of Dr. Abati, do you know, despite the fact that case is in court, he gave an illegal opinion on section 25 right there on TV on a case that is already in court. He gave a legal opinion on, no, not section 25, this 25% in Abuja thing.
Section 134.
He gave a legal opinion. They are empirical facts. Fact check me. When he was asked on the issue, he gave a legal opinion knowing fully well that the case is sub judice, like lawyers say, and it's already in court. And as a senior advocate of Nigeria, gave a legal opinion of a case that is in court on television. So who is going to charge him for that? Who's going to charge him for that? Then he says about the things that Baba Ahmed did say. You know, the truth has to be said. Any decision that is taken by the court, democracy will not fade off in Nigeria. We will go through our path and will become better. But what we call on the judiciary to do is to ensure justice reigns. That's just all. And one too many times, those that are going to court are saying they want to challenge the process. And they have extensive things there in their petition to challenge. But in also being objective, and please, for the love of mercy, in also being objective, let us also balance things out. Apart from what I have pointed out, what Dati Baba made and say it will not be a reign at the end of democracy in Nigeria, even if the court rules in favor of anybody. But in also being objective, Mr. Festus Kayamo forgets the tweets of his very good friend and brother Bayon Onuga and Mr. FFK that are causing ethnic tension and ethnic baiting in the country. He also forgot to see MC Oluomo's message that it was a prediction and a threat that came to pass in Lagos. So that's where the hypocrisy is when we are talking about things on the national sphere. I know politicians will say the things they want to say, they want to make arguments and everything, but we need to cool it down, and we also need to be just as statesmen, because at the end of it, after all is said and done, we will have a country to build and we'll come together. All right, a lot to talk about, Ayo.
Yes, we did expect that the drama had only just begun post the announcement of the winner of the presidential election on 25th of February, and we have seen a number of things begin to unfold as the days go by. One of this, again, is in the interview granted, first of all, starting with the petition written by the Minister of State for Labour and Productivity, Mr. Festus Kayamo, SAN, and, of course, his following interview, TV interview, based on his petition is based, according to what he wrote to the DSS, on statements made by the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, and, of course, he also joined the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, in this complaint or petition to the DSS. I'd like to read the opening statement of the petition to the DSS made by Mr. Festus Kayamo. First of all, I must say that he said he's written this petition in his personal capacity as an individual, as a concerned citizen of Nigeria. That's how he ended the petition. But he opens it by saying that I write with the full realization that in a post-election period such as this, there is a need to soothe frayed nerves, lower the temperature, and begin the healing process. here for a few seconds. Now, one of the things we've heard, especially from the APC at this time, is the healing process. This talk about healing, or let's now begin to work together and come together. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because it speaks to what the actions of Mr. Festus Kayamo. And what a number of people have said is that the APC asked the Labour Party and other aggrieved parties, if the PDP inclusive, to go to court if they didn't agree with the election outcome. Now, this message of healing, hence him saying that the statements made by Yusuf Dati Ahmed is incendiary, therefore we should be looking towards unity. But people have asked as well that, can healing occur without justice? Is it mutually exclusive to heal and also to seek justice? I know that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about the statement exactly, but it was important because he started his statement that way. Because in his way, he was making a case for why he believes the DSS should investigate, as it could incite people, young and old in Nigeria to, violence, if possible. Now, I'll give a little example and then I'll pass it on because I'm sure that Dr. and Rufai would also speak to this. But when we talk about justice and healing, I would give an example of a parent, 2 children. One has stolen a pot, the other's maybe possession, and then says, don't report to, just let's keep it quiet for the peace of this family, just let's move on. Yes, the peace of the family is very important, but it is also important that to enable or to teach the other person a lesson, it's important so that it doesn't occur again, that the other person is able to get some form of justice. Very important. In the same breath, Mr. Festus Kayamo, in the interview he did on another TV station, was doing almost exactly that which he was accusing Mr. Yusuf Dati Ahmed of doing in terms of speaking out. Why is he saying that it was not the president-elect is not constitutionally recognized and so on? Because he also preempted the justice of the Supreme Court judges by making statements, not just at this interview, but in other forums where he said that their case is baseless. The Supreme Court is going to throw the case away. So, just to mention that at this time, it is important that spokespeople like Mr. Festus Kayamo and the spokespersons from the Labour Party are careful with the words that they say. Yes, it is important to seek justice, but we must remember that it's the people that they seek to serve that they could, ultimately do a disservice to.
A number of things.